Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School in Blanchard, America. My name is Drake Vitito alongside Carson Craig. And Carson, this is one of those games where we really don't need to dress it up very much. To keep it very plain with you, Blanchard found themselves in a very similar situation last year, coming into this Bethany game undefeated and taking a loss up in Bethany. This year, it's a little bit of a deja vu. It's very much same experience. They go into Tuttle and Newcastle and take care of business. Bethany loses one coming into this game, and to be completely honest with you, this is a game where Blanchard wins, and they're pretty much going to be the District 4A2 champs when it's all said and done. But first off, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Just excited for another. It should be another exciting game of Blanchard Lions football and this tough 4A district.
For those of you that are wondering, Todd Lisenby was on a trip. It has been on a trip in New York City all week, so he will be sitting this one out. Carson has joined us for a couple of sessions this year, and we're always glad to have him back. Before we start this game off, though, Carson, just tell me a little bit about the expectations for this Blanchard group going in against this Bronco squad.
Yeah, like you were kind of mentioning, same situation that we had last year coming into this game. Thankfully, conditions are a little bit more favorable. Last year was a pretty rainy game that was not the most fun to sit in as a viewer and probably not the most fun to play in unless you enjoy that type of weather. But, the expectation is, once again, we're kind of in this ideal situation of in the driver's seat. You take care of business here, then you're coasting to a first-round hosting playoff game.
I would absolutely love, and I'll be a little biased here, I would absolutely love to have two home games here come playoff time. But Blanchard has to take care of business tonight, and we will be live here in just a second with the kickoff. I want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. First and foremost, the game sponsor for tonight, the LB Realty Group, who is also consequentially our player of the game sponsor as well. We'll have that to you at the end of the game. But big shout out to LB Realty Group for being the game sponsor tonight. And with that being said, as we're waiting for kickoff, let's get a little bit of that starting offense for the Blanchard Lions, brought to you by Brightway Insurance. I will be saying the offensive players: Ross Johnson in at tackle, Ryder Dobbs at guard, Trey Spencer at center, Blake Woods at guard, Braden Hefferman at tackle. We have Matthew Tonsing, Terrence Johnson, Coric Pierce, and Brayson Carter in at the wide receiver suite. And then, of course, Carson Cooksey at QB, Mikhail Howell at running back. That will be your offense. We'll give you the defense right shortly after this kickoff. Like we were talking about, Carson, pregame, this is pretty much the game. Blanchard has been able to be in the driver's seat for the entire year when it comes to district play. We're able to get some players a little bit healthier than they were, and that kind of leads us into our hometown healthcare injury report. Caleb Greenwood still in a boot. Brayson Carter is back from last week, and I believe Reagan Palmer, who said on the Coach's Show on Tuesday that he is also going to still be nursing probably a couple more weeks before he's in. But with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Carson, who will be our play-by-play voice for the night, as myself, Drake Vitito, will be the humble color commentator.
We'll get started off with a Bethany kickoff here. It's booted deep in the end zone, non-returnable here for the Lions. So Lions offense going to take the field. We'll get to see if some of those players, Reagan and Brayson, kind of how they're doing, healed up, and see what they'll be able to show on the field tonight.
I'm very intrigued. The one thing that was said during the coach's show, whether it be the players, Coach Craig, is I think the battle tonight, especially with weather, is it's going to be up front. Whoever's going to be winning the line of scrimmage tonight, able to bring that physicality in that run game, will have a better chance of winning tonight. And with that being said, I think Bethany might be some of the team that measures up the best size-wise with this Blanchard front.
Yeah, Lions going with their standard four-wide set. Bethany going to attack with a three-man front here. Cooksey's going to drop back, surveying the field. He's got Brayson Carter deep, but he's going to pass it off to
believe that was Pierce.
Looks like Cork. There is a little bit of yellow on the field from the side judge.
If Todd were here, he would be very mad because he had to endure the pink flags the past 2 weeks for a great cause. Don't get me wrong, but very hard to spot on a field sometimes.
Illegal man downfield is what the Lions are going to get hit with. It's going to take the ball back. Looks to be at the 15-yard line. Lions will get another first down shot to go at it. It's kind of tougher on those plays where you're sitting back there for a while. The linemen kind of sneak off wanting to keep doing their job and not realizing how far up they've moved. Lions will go back kind of with a heavy set there at the top with to be Perryman at tight end as Lions take it up the middle here.
Is that Mikhail Howell, I believe?
Probably. I need to get binoculars up here. I'm a little...
Yeah, Todd ended up bringing those. That was a good run by Mikhail, good push. That's going to be real key tonight, Carson, being able to establish that run just because it's going to open up so much more in the passing game if they decide to go to it a lot down the field.
Yeah, Mikhail's run went for 5 yards, so 2nd and 10 coming up for the Lions here. Cooksy's going to fake the handoff. He's got a quick slant here, a nice spin move. I'm so bad on my numbers here. Is that is the
Cole Watkins?
Cole Watkins. Okay.
Okay, no, that's all right.
I was like, I think that's Cole. Let me double check here. I'm not used to seeing him out there on the edge as a receiver, but he had a great play there, kind of slanting in, and then did a spin move, got to the outside, gets a new first down.
A First United first down, by the way.
Yes.
A First United first down, by the way. Big shout out to have a cramp maybe on the field.
Yeah, I saw an official's timeout. It's what's called. Bethany players down. A couple of their players are huddled around. So Lions migrating back over to the sideline. Kind of talk some things over here for this upcoming new set of downs.
Just want to give a quick shout outs to some of our sponsors. Obviously, we already talked about the LB Realty Group being tonight's game sponsor, but also just a big shout out to the Oasis, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Casa de Wolf Designs, and 10 Arrows Roofing. Just a couple of the sponsors. We'll shout them out throughout the game, but we truly could not do it without any of their support. Carson, it's been a bit. The last game, I believe, was what, Tuttle?
That we did together?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think Todd might just be doing you a favor. You're getting the cherry-picked best games so far.
He's missing out on the good ones, but I think he's okay with the trade-off to New York City. It's a nice little trip there for him up to there.
We wish him safe travels back. I'm sure Todd is probably thousands of feet in the air, probably somewhere around Ohio or something coming back to Oklahoma, depending on where that flight trajectory is.
All right, Lions back to their 4-wide set, coming out with a new set of downs. 1st and 10 on Bethany's 38-yard line. Hard count, almost gets Bethany to jump off sides. Cooks is going to hand it off here to, it looks like Mikhail Howell again up the middle. Kind of a little delayed handoff. Mikhail Howell gets about 2 yards here, bring up 2nd and 8 from the 40-yard line.
One of the things that Coach Craig and I talked about at the coaches show on Tuesday was, there were a couple of weeks, the past couple of weeks where he just wanted the offense to get started quicker. Little bit of a sleepwalk the past 2 weeks, but it looks like as of right now they're back in full swing.
Brayson Carter gets a jet handoff sweep there, kind of tries to get around the edge, had some good blocking, but Bethany overcame it. Really rallied up and contained Carter to the sideline. About a run of looks to be no gain there. So we've got a 3rd and 8 coming up for your Lions.
Going to give a quick shout out to the Bethany defense because we've seen that play multiple times where Carter gets it, tries to beat the edge, and most of the time he gets it. But I think Bethany tonight is going to have the athletes to maybe challenge when Blanchard starts going horizontal.
Blanchard going with a trip set here on their left side. Cooksy's looking around. Got a slant again to Cole Watkins. Reels it in. Sheds off a Bethany tackler. He's going to get a nice gain to the 20-yard line. Lions pressing with 10 minutes left in the first quarter.
Man, Cole Watkins, man, coming in for the injured Reagan Palmer, obviously. He's making the most of his opportunities. We've called his name a couple of times this year, but, man, when you're talking about getting off to a hot start, putting your foot down on the pedal early, this is textbook example right here.
Perryman to a tight end set there at the right of the formation, but still 4 wide base. Cooks is going to take a direct snap. He's going to run up the field. Looks to be maybe a gain about 4 to 5 yards here. Referee is going to mark him down at the, looks to be the 17-yard line.
You know, going back to last year's game, Carson, and yes, you can attribute some of it to the weather, but it was very much, it was almost a stalemate at points. I'm very intrigued to see if it follows suit. The weather is a little bit better, but I don't see any reason why Blanchard won't have any pressure moving the ball down the field all game.
Cal Howe is going to take the handoff from Cooksey. Gets a nice little gain here. Looks to be a First United first down for your Lions. Lions now within the 10-yard line. They're marked down at the 9-yard line. Going to hurry up set here.
Going tempo.
Cooksey fakes a handoff. He's got a slanting Corrick Pierce, I believe. Just wasn't able to reel that one in, so Lions going to get a 2nd and 10 coming up here. Let's see what they do.
Just a little bit of an early timing there, just a little bit of the timing issue there with Corrick and Cooksey. Cooksey put it in the right place, right in between the defenders for Bethany. Just Corrick was a little bit late, maybe a little bit late to that pass.
Bethany still with a 3-man front, but they're bringing about 4 here. The Lions go back to it, gets a hand on it, but unable to reel it in yet again. So now your Lions facing a 3rd and 9 with 8:51 left in the first.
I think this is going to be one of the sneaky good keys that we didn't really get to talk about a lot on the coaches show. There have been points this season where the Lions have been able to drive lengths of the field almost, but when it gets down into that lower 20, it's really hard because the defense gets tightened up a little bit. There's less room to work with. It's very imperative that this Lions team can score in the red zone.
Oh yeah, and Bethany's one of the in our district throughout the years has always been consistently there. Cooks is going to throw it up on a wheel route. I believe Brayson Carter reeled that in.
He did.
Brayson Carter on kind of a little wheel route combination there gets a touchdown. That's going to be a Yarbrough & Sons Heating and Air first touchdown for the night and for your Lions.
Doing work early, Brayson Carter is. After getting stuffed a little bit on that jet sweep, Brayson redeems himself and beats his defender, and a really nice offhanded catch, fading away towards out of bounds. Just a really great catch, really good throw from Cooksey. Way to put it in a place where the defender couldn't get it.
High snap for the Lions here on the kick. Matt Campbell's going to try to get it in. It's fumbled. I don't think in high school you can return those.
I don't believe either.
So that could end up being a crucial mistake for your Lions in a district contest where it could end up being tight. I mean, we had, I think back to about 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago when we lost the title 14-13. So Lions probably have to go for 2 on the next one if it stays close. If not, I know Coach Craig's philosophy is not to chase points early when not needed. So
we're going to take a quick 1-minute break here. You guys are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Welcome back to Blanchard America. As the Lions have gone out to a quick score, not much retaliation by the Bethany defense, but we'll see what the Blanchard defense can surmount here. That is the one constant, Carson, in these games. The Blanchard defense has usually shown up, and we'll see what the Bethany offense can do here on their starting drive.
All right, Lions defense coming out onto the field. Going to be taking on this Bethany offense. First look that we'll see from them tonight. All right, Lions getting adjusted. Bethany's kind of got a 2-back set here, kind of a pistol shotgun formation. Kind of running an old school triple option out of that formation, but Lions stay true to it. Looks to be brought down. Let's see. Ben Hefner going to bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Before we get to this next play, Carson, you want to say the starting defense brought to you by Brightway Insurance?
Yes. For corner, we got Terrence Johnson, Corey Pierce, and Brayson Carter going to be lining up safety. Other cornerback going to be Matthew Tonsing, Gage Ellison, Braden Stacy, Ben Hefner is going to bring our linebackers, as well as Tyler Hughes. Then 3-man front, Blake Woods, Cade Saunders, and Ross Johnson, as the Lions get another quick stop on the defensive side here. Bethany is facing a 3rd and 5. My corrections on that. 3rd and 8 here. 7:35 left in the first quarter. Bethany kind of getting some call signal in from the sideline. Back to a 1-back set. Do some motion out to the side. Try to get a wheel route and an out route. Pass is incomplete. Lions get a good 3 and out here. Defense getting prepared for a punt return here. 7:15 left. Being played in 104.5 and off the broadcast. Good kick here from Bethany. Terrence Johnson, I believe, is returning that. Terrence Johnson makes kind of get to the edge, cut back again in the middle. It's about around 25-yard line is going to be brought down by Bethany gang of tacklers.
All right, well, sorry about that. I had to go see a man about a horse. But Carson, when it comes to expectations for these first couple of drives, it's pretty much picture perfect, besides maybe a made field goal. That may be the only thing missing out. But
yeah, you know, as far as penalties went, you had one early on. That got corrected. Lions put a good drive together, kind of executed
football
on third downs when they were faced with those challenges, as looks like McIntyre is going to take a carry for about 1 yard here, be 2nd and 9 from the 27-yard line. But that was a good punt by Bethany, kind of another form of defense when your offense can execute there to kind of pin Blanchard back, try to give your defense another chance to maybe, now they've seen this offense, get some adjustments made. Cooksy's going to take the snap back in the shotgun. He's rolling out to his right. He's got a quick kind of hitch route pass over to, I believe, Corrick Pierce again. So Cooksey and Corrick able to connect again. Finally get looks to be a First United first down. Lions have the ball now on the 45-yard line.
I'm going to be honest, Carson. When this line offense is able to be firing on all cylinders, it's really hard for any defense to get it going. And we said all week that we didn't think Bethany, the defense, was going to be as stacked as it was last year, and we're seeing the basically the profits of that right now.
Yeah, McIntyre goes up the middle there for about a gain of 8 yards. But yeah, like you were saying, I'd have to go back and look. I want to say they had kind of a good bunch of seniors last year, and that's kind
some
of
it was
the good
size.
and bad. And,
yeah.
And like you said, size. They had a really good player that ends up at OU. That he made some great plays for them last year. Cooksey takes snaps, going to hand it off again to McIntyre. McIntyre is going to go around the edge, get another First United first down. That might be coming back as a late yellow flag comes in at the end.
I believe that will be a hold. I think it might have been on. Was it Ross?
It was kind of the last one I saw there in the backfield.
By the way, probably the second game, I would say, that we're this is officially football weather, by the way. We had what we call an anomaly last week with about an 80-degree game, and Todd was not a fan of it. But I think I speak for me and Todd when I say that this is football weather, and this is the time of the year that is the most fun for people like me.
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also at the same time like, what's so bad about 80, 70-degree weather? Like, that's a good medium.
We've been through the summer. We've seen 3 months of this. 3 or 4 months. It's time to get back to the other side of the thermometer.
Okay, what about 70 with no wind?
That's okay. Fine.
I think that's like perfect for any kind of sport. Not too hot, not too cold.
It's good to be back, though. Always good to be back. This year's flown by. We're 2 games left.
All right, Lions got a 2nd and 8 coming up on their own 47-yard line. Cooks is going to take a snap again. Lions continuing to go back to McIntyre as he cuts around the edge and gets a great gain of what will be looks to be 20 yards. So the 2 committee running back has been excellent tonight. Mikael Howes had some great runs on the inside, and McIntyre's been doing a great job of getting around the edge. And schematically up front, our guys are doing a great job of controlling that 3-man front.
Give credit to those boys up front. We've been able to get stuff in the middle and on the outside, whether it be Howell or McIntyre, just all on the script right now.
First United first down as McIntyre. The Lions kind of going back to it. I think they're going to really stick with it until Bethany makes an adjustment or stop it. I know Coach Craig a lot of times with a lot of his offensive schematics is if something's working, don't just go away from it. You know, go until they make an adjustment. And if they do, you've got some other tricks in your playbook to counter that. Lions facing 2nd and 6 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left. Cooks is going to fake the handoff, try to get out to Carter in the kind of back out on the left side. Carter unable to reel that in. It's a little bit behind him. It's just kind of juggling act as far as getting the catch and getting your footing back.
And one of the consequences of really being able to establish that run early is that the defense is going to adjust by trying to pack that box in. And that's exactly what the opportunities that we're talking about when it comes to those short intermediate passing game, middle of the field, maybe even a long shot on the edge, depending on how they line up.
Well, there's a good chance that's why they try to get it to Brayson there. As they started, Brace is going to slant, and you were kind of predicting it. Cooks' pass is behind him. Brayson unable to reel it in, so Lions look to be facing a 4th and 6. I got to imagine this side of the field they're going to go for it. 6 yards is manageable. We'll see what they've got planned here.
I will say this drive only. I mean, Bethany's done a pretty good job in coverage. They've had even if those catches would have been made, I think they would have been in a good spot to get stopped. So we'll see if they can create separation. Talking about the Blanchard receivers.
4 wide set. McIntyre to the left of Cooksey. Cooksey's going to take the snap. Surveying to the left side of this field. He's got Watkins deep. Throws it up. Cole gets it caught. Believe he got a foot in as well. Bethany defenders unhappy, but Lions fans elated. That was a big, crucial first down. So another First United first down. Cole's really stepped up so far tonight on the offensive side. He's been a player that's been on your defensive end, but as we've seen so much through the year, there's kind of been we get an early fireworks show.
Premature fireworks, everybody. Premature fireworks. It's all right.
It was a good enough catch to warrant that. Now we just need to capitalize on a touchdown.
Right. You got the big catch. You got the big play you needed to drive down the field. Got to capitalize in the red zone. But you're absolutely right, Carson. Cole Watkins, not a name that we've shouted out a whole ton on offense, but making the most of his choices. Was that snow? For a very mild second, I saw precipitation.
Bethany rallies up to the McIntyre counter handoff. Doesn't go for any yards there as Lions are facing a 2nd down on the Bethany 4th yard line.
I wonder if we see, like you said, if it's broke, don't fix it, we see a similar play to what brought the Lions their first touchdown. Maybe a little bit of wheel route or maybe just a pass in the flats even. Just make your players go make a move and gain a little bit of those extra yards for a touchdown. We'll see.
We take a look at some of these outside linebackers. They start cheating in. If Cooksey catches it, he might just try to get it to Brayson real quick. McIntyre is patient in the backfield. Looks like he's right there at the 1 yard line, just short. So Lions are going to have a 3rd and goal line from the 1-yard line with 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
That was a really good individual effort there from McIntyre. He got hit early in the run. I thought he was going to go down, but he absolutely just bounced off a guy and got a couple more yards to make it a lot more manageable for the Lions to potentially get a score here. Really good individual effort, though, from the running back.
Lions looking to the sidelines, get the call in from the coaches for their next play. We've seen a lot of running on this series like we were talking about. It's been beneficial to them. So McIntyre's going to take it again. He's going to finally get his labors, fruit of labors paid off with a touchdown.
It's a great run. We've said it pregame. I thought the biggest key going into this game was going to be the line of scrimmage and who was going to be able to dominate the running game. And even though we're still here in the first quarter, all signs that are pointing to Blanchard right now, I think, are because of that physicality that they've been showing up front of the line.
Offensive line's been a great push, helping Lions get their second Yarbrough and Sons heating and air touchdown on the night. Lions going to have a good snap this time for the PAT. The try is successful. That's going to bring your score to 13-0 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
We're going to take a quick break real quick. We'll be back in 1 minute. You guys are watching Blanchard Lions football on Blanchard Lions TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. First off, Blanchard has ripped off 2 touchdowns here, and we're still in the fourth quarter. The first quarter, 2 minutes and 30 seconds
panicking
left.
some of our radio listeners. Like I heard a commercial break. Now we're already in the fourth quarter. Lions get a special teams get a early tackle on the kind of mid-kicked squib kick. Ball is spotted about the 27.
Let's not talk
yard
squibs.
line.
It's still a touchy subject.
Well, it's not right before halftime.
That's right. Let's see if this Blanchard defense can build upon what they had or what they prevented in their first drive here against this Bethany O.
Yeah, first defensive series, a quick 3 and out. Love to see that again, but got to imagine Bethany's going to have some adjustments made as well as their running back sheds off a good amount of tacklers up the middle. Finally brought down after a 7-yard gain.
I will say this: I wish we had more stats available to us in high school football. Period. I will say this though, just based on the eye test of being at all these games, something this Blanchard defense has done really well is even if teams are driving on them for most of the length of the field, they do really well when it gets into plus territory. They're really good at stopping guys no matter where they are on the field.
Bethany tries to motion across. Play is blown dead. Got to imagine a false start is coming up for the Broncos. False start again, so it's going to back them up 5 yards. Going to bring up is that going to be a second and 8?
And to add more to that, not only has this Blanchard defense done well no matter where the opponent is on the field, if the opponent is going to give you penalties like that, the Blanchard defense has also done an exceptionally good job throughout this entire year of taking advantage of those opportunities given to them.
Bethany back in a 4-wide set. Handoff up to the middle, brought down yet again. Looks to be by number 62, Blake Woods.
forgot to mention on the broadcast, but it is senior night, by the way.
Yes.
I believe our audio was not on, but I believe our video was on for the festivities of senior night. So it's good to see a heavy senior team, by the way, this Blanchard Lions squad. So it's good to see their paw prints, if you will, on this game early.
Yeah, you love when your program's got a lot of players like that. Just kind of shows. As Bethany's got a receiver downfield, not sure if he brought that in, if they're going to rule that a catch. It is ruled a catch, so Lions give up their first down of the night to Bethany.
The side judge went like this. He nodded his head no, and then he placed it. I was very confused. And the Bethany receiver was also just as confused.
Might have had another referee come in there and overrule him with a better angle. Might have just been, hey, from my angle I couldn't tell. So we're going to go with yours. Bethany's pressing now. Bethany's got the ball on the Lions' 46-yard line. Sweep handoff is tackled almost in the backfield there by your Lions.
That was really good there from the Blanchard, the D line. Bethany's been able to pop off one semi-big run thus far in the game, but
I think it's going to be our last play of the first quarter
goodness,
here.
It is.
Play clock expires for the first quarter. Your score is still at a 13-0. Bethany Broncos pressing at the Lions' 46-yard line.
A great start from this Blanchard Lions squad. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break right here before progressing into the second quarter. You are listening to Blanchard Lions football. Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here in Blanchard, America. We are starting here in the second quarter. Blanchard with a commanding 13-0 lead here early, Carson. I pass it along to you.
All right, Bethany is coming back, kind of flip sides of the field now after the break. Pistol set, fake handoff. He's got a receiver downfield, just overthrows him there. Bethany wanting that one back if they could, so Lions get lucky there. They're going to have a 3rd and 10.
That is one thing. We really don't get to dissect much of these teams until we actually see the teams in person. There's not a whole lot of scouting going on. It's not like, any of these opposing teams are placing former military veterans into the stands to steal signs, but good job if you get that reference. But no, I totally agree. There's definitely some skill position players for Bethany that you have to watch out because they've traditionally been very, very good at creating space, especially the wide receivers.
Yeah, Coach John Arthur's done a great job at Bethany since he's been there with the program. There's just always kind of that team lurking around as Bethany gets a really greatly called quarterback run up the middle. I don't know if it was called for or if it was just read for, but Lions finally wrangle him down right at about the goal line, maybe about the 1.5-yard line.
So I'll say that isn't the first time that the quarterback could have tucked and ran on the big first down pass play that they had down here. He had a lot of green in front of him. He just ended up trying to pass. Blanchard's been giving up that middle a little bit tonight. I'm very intrigued to see if he kind of learns a little bit and if Blanchard will make any changes.
Bethany's got a bunch of players kind of bunched up here in the middle here, maybe kind of more of a heavy goal line set, kind of looking like that two-back set from earlier. This time quarterback's going to go under center, though. A lot of motion in the backfield. Lions are not distracted by it. Brought down. It's like, is it Ryder Dobbs that brought him down?
The senior. Guess who? Now, there was a little bit of what we would call trickery. Definitely a lot of movement in the backfield, and Ryder Dobbs did a good job of penetrating the middle of that Bethany front and coming up with a big stop there.
Yeah, it looked like they had a bunch of people going to the left. I didn't see if line was going, but I know as far as the backs went, but they had that tight end kind of motioning across right in the middle of that. So a bunch of commotions, a toss sweep there to the right. Lions once again standing sturdy, so we might get to see another chance for this Lions defense of what we were kind of alluding to earlier with the bend, don't break philosophy. Looks to be probably about a 3rd and 2 for the Broncos to go. 10 minutes and 15 seconds in the second quarter.
If there's anyone that you can have faith in to get 4 big stops close to the goal line, it's definitely this Blanchard Lions defense.
Lions with their backs to the goal line here as Bethany staying under center yet again. Swarm of Lions defenders there, so that 3-man front defensively is doing great for us.
I think that was Big Ben Hefner that came in there and exploded right over the middle. But no, it all starts up front with that defensive line, and they're doing a great job, as I believe we have a timeout here. No? Just a mass sub?
I feel like I heard a whistle. We've got a sub coming in for our own side.
All right,
trying
this
to
is
see
it.
if it's a heavy or kind of more of a nickel type set.
Got to expect a pass here. I don't think they're going to go back to the run. They're going to kick a field goal.
So our substitution was probably for special teams unit there. We got a Blanchard defender running off the field late. Coach Craig wanted a timeout, it looks like, maybe to avoid the penalty there. And 4th and 4 for the Broncos as they look to be lining up for a field goal attempt here from the 4-yard line.
We will be right back after a couple of messages. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football. Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School. Carson, it's 13-0. We saw a big gash run play from Bethany early in the drive, but Blanchard has since made a great 3-play stand coming into the 4th and 4 here on the goal line.
Yeah, and that's why that's crucial when White looks like he can go to the house, so you still give some effort, get him down, even though he's about the 1 or 2 yard line to start off.
They're going to go for it. They're not
going
going
back
for a field
to
goal.
the 4 yard line. As that field goal must have been to get Blanchard to burn a timeout as quarterback slips down, ball is out. Rallied back up.
That's Tyler Hughes.
Is it Tyler Hughes on a crucial play. So Bethany might be wishing they had taken the 3 points there now after that. Now I'm curious to see if the ball came out before the quarterback went down. It was kind of an awkward slip where
Are they discussing it?
Might have got a hand down before the ball came out, but
is a hand down in high school?
Well, if he's
Oh, they're not?
Hand's not. Now, I just didn't know if that hand was the one with the football or if it was the other one. So
they're not.
As of right now, it looks like the Tyler Hughes scoop fumble recovery has got Lions on about the 36 or 33-yard line here. Blanchard going with a trip sack. Cooksy's going to hand it off. Is that Mikhail Howell, I believe, up the middle.
Feed the machine.
Gain of 5 yards there.
it's not broke, why fix it? I think this potentially, depending on if this run game can keep churning like it is, this might be the first game all season where we've really seen just a continued effort just for most of the game to establish that run, because we haven't really seen that so far this year.
It's going to be a tale of two cities as compared to the Noble game to start off the year. There's a lot of stuff through the air. As another run up the middle yet again gashes the Bethany Broncos defense for a First United first down, brought to you by Mikhail Howe.
Yeah, I mean, and we've kind of seen it, whether it be up the middle, on the edges, the run has just not been able to stop. This Bethany defense has not had the answers for the run. Part and credit due to the big boys up front, but part and credit to great individual efforts from both McIntyre and Mikhail Howell, getting a little bit of extra yards on opportunities where they present themselves.
Bethany going with a 4-man front now against that Lions offense in the trips. As slant to Brayson Carter is caught. Looked like a Bethany defender tried to swipe for it, just missed it. Brayson gets his first catch of the night to reel that, or second one, first non-touchdown catch.
Yeah,
put it that way.
It was that
first
was
short game catch.
I thought that was going to be a pass interference call first off, but second off, he just got rid of the defender holding on to him, and that was a bullet up the middle, and he was not very far down the field. That might have been one of his, maybe not the most sexiest catch of the year, but that was definitely just when you bring it down to brass tacks, one of the most impressive ones.
Cooksey's going to fake the handoff with the motion sweep across. He's got a man in the middle of the field. Looks to be Corrick Pierce. This is the big touchdown. First, Yarbrough and Sons heating air. First touchdown of the night for Corrick Pierce. That was a beautiful pass there through the middle. Some of that motion there in the backfield might have caught a Bethany defender off or two, and Corrick used his size and speed to create some separation there.
And we talked a little bit about it with that run game being so dominant thus far in the game. We said it was going to open up opportunities deep downfield, and that's exactly what we saw right there. You have to make Bethany respect your run game because they're not going to be able to take as many chances on those deep shots.
You got enough weapons across the board where, as Matt Campbell's PAT attempt is good, it's going to bring the score to 20-0 with 7 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second quarter.
It's looking like a blowout early here in Blanchard, but with that being said, we're going to take a quick 1-minute break, knock on wood. We'll be right back. You guys are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Support your
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex, where, Carson, I'm going to be honest, when it comes to the offensive fluidity and how early we're seeing it with this Blanchard squad, I got to say it's taken me a little bit by surprise here. Not because I didn't think they could do it, just because off of the past couple of weeks that we've seen it, it took a little bit. Definitely longer than the first and second drives of the game. Yeah,
it's encouraging. I think kind of some of the issues for that, a lot of times it's just been a lot of mix of your personnel that's been coming in.
Yeah.
You've had, with Reagan's injury and Brayson being out last week, and it's just kind of been a different nucleus of 4 receivers that you're throwing out there, kind of putting some people in some other spots, and those players as well, they might be having to go both sides when they were only going one side before that. So,
with that being said, though, this Bethany offense was able to trek most of the field last drive, so we'll see if they can find similar success here.
Bethany's going to try as kind of a speed option there to their right, brought down again. Gage Ellison wrangles him down in the backfield.
I remember those plays a lot last year, those option plays, especially when they had, I believe it was Heim, his last name, the guy who ended up at OU.
Yes.
With that being said, though, and this is no offense to any of the players right now, it's just there's a difference. That guy's able to make outstanding individual efforts, individual plays in those games. But give credit to this Blanchard defense, man. They have not given up a whole lot when it comes to the majority of plays here against this Bethany offense.
Bethany with the tight end set there onto their left side as quarterback scrambling again, trying to see if he's got anything downfield. Does not. It's brought down, kind of runs out of green there and brought down by Ben yet again to the sideline.
Ben Hefner has his prints all over this one early. He's been a mainstay. I'll say this: he's been a constant when it comes to that linebacker group. He's one of the more physical guys that we're seeing in that core. But man, especially when he had it. Does he still have his cast on? I couldn't tell, but you could easily point him out when he had his big club on.
But also back to with Bethany's offense last year too, they had this kind of 2 quarterback system with the Heim kid, and that was really tough when you're getting all kinds of personnel change. It's been a little bit more standardized here as Bethany gets yet again on the middle of the field on this Blanchard defense. Gets looks to be number 7, kind of sneaks in the backfield, and
I don't know if
that
say
he was their quarterback on some other plays. So
I don't want to. Was that a zone coverage right there? I think he might have just picked an open spot and kind of planted his flag where he was. But that was a good throw and a good pass. Bethany's receivers have been slipping a little bit tonight. We've seen a couple of times. I don't know if cold weather necessarily changes the makeup of a turf that much, but we've been seeing a lot of slipperyage. That's not a word. With these Bethany receivers tonight.
Bethany's going to motion 81 across their formation. Flag's going for another false start as that's going to back up Bethany 5 yards. Going to put him on the 44 Blanchard or Bethany's own 44-yard line. Lions defense will have a 1st and 15 coming up with 6 minutes and 22 seconds in the second quarter.
Very similar situation we saw here last time that Bethany got this penalty on them. Blanchard defense, we've said it all year, has been really, really good in these spots at taking advantage when their opponent pretty much shoots themselves in the foot, if you will, with all these penalties. So we'll see if they can take advantage of it here.
Direct snap. Quarterback's going to run to his right. Evades a couple of tacklers, but is brought down after only about a 2 to 3 yard gain. Bethany's going to have a second and 11 facing them.
And I'll say this too. I mean, if Bethany continues to struggle getting the run, of course I'm excluding the big quarterback run that we had last drive. It's gonna be that much harder to get anything in the passing game going. I know that they've completed a couple here and there, but nothing truly consistent yet we've seen from this Bethany offense.
No, but they're still, we could still get lulled to sleep on our end that they could go for a big gain like we had on our offense as quarterback's brought down.
So Gage Ellison came off with the blitz on the right side, and that opened up for, who was that? Was that Heffernan who ended up making the tackle?
Yeah,
May have been Jake Carter.
I think it was Jake Carter. I saw 0. I was trying to see the other number, so I'm going to go with Jake Carter on the quarterback tackle there, as Bethany's going to have a 3rd and 16 now from the 44-yard line.
Really good job there by Ellison. I know he ended up not getting home on the blitz, but it forced the Bethany quarterback to go down through the middle, which they haven't been able to get all game long. But great job by Jake there. We're going to have a timeout from Bethany here with about 4:41 to go. Your Lions lead the Bethany Broncos 20-0. We're going to take a quick break. You guys are listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School, Blanchard, America, the location. 4:41 left to go here in the second quarter. Lions up 20-0. I pass it along to you, my good sir, Carson Craig.
Bethany out of the timeout. It's got a player coming in late onto the field as they're back in this kind of I formation. The fake handoff down the middle, play action to the right is blown up immediately.
Stuffed to the gills. Now, I'll say that, was that Gage Ellison or was that Tyler Hughes? That was Tyler Hughes. Gage Ellison, the right side linebacker blitzed, and then they just decided, hey, we'll just do it on the other side. Tyler Hughes was not going to be denied, and he made a huge stuff in the backfield. It's great, keeping the pressure up. And we're going to see, is this our first punt of the game? No, second from Bethany.
Yeah, Terrence had a return earlier on that 3rd and out on their Bethany's first offensive drive.
I think I had to see someone about a horse during that play.
As a good punt yet again, as Terrence has got a good space of field there, so he's going to return that to Blanchard's 49-yard line. So Lions offense set up great off of the punt return from Terrence Johnson.
And, we really don't get to talk about this a whole lot just in the grand scheme of these games, but Blanchard's special teams has been really, really good all season long. I think part of it, I think most people will just automatically go to, yeah, the returners are really good. Yes, that is true, but also it's all about the blocking as well. And Blanchard, like we've seen from this defense, has very physical guys that are not afraid to go in and get dirty on a special teams play.
Lions were employing it's kind of a 5-wide set with 4 kind of a quads formation. But
is that Bethany again?
Bethany,
I believe that is a timeout from Bethany.
Kind of thrown off there by that formation.
We're going back-to-back here with the timeouts. There's currently 3:47 left here in the game in the second quarter, I believe. That is 20-0 Blanchard. Your score will be back right after this. You're listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
Welcome back here to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. It's 20-0 Lions, 3:47 left to go here in the second.
Cooksey empty in the backfield all by himself. He's got receivers downfield, but he is going to be brought down eventually by the Bethany defender. Brayson was really trying to get Cooksey aired out to him deep downfield, just wasn't able to. So Lions are going to have about a 2nd and 13 facing them here from the 46-yard line.
Give credit to the Bethany defense. I think the Lions front 5 did their jobs in giving Cooksey enough time to try and make something happen, but the receivers just weren't able to get over him. But got to give credit to that Bethany secondary and keeping that coverage steady.
Lions different formation here now with a tight end set, Hudson Perryman. Quick slant looks to be, was that to Cole again?
Yeah.
Cole Watkins with a great catch there on the quick slant route. It's going to get Lions closer to that first down line for this upcoming third down.
Really good individual effort there from Watkins as well, extending after that initial contact to get a little bit of extra yards. Maybe in a different scenario. Yeah, I was about to say maybe in the middle of the field with a lot of others around, maybe a little bit risky, but with one-on-one, I don't hate the play like the aggressiveness.
Lions returning to McIntyre kind of off the edge yet again, and so he's going to get a First United first down for your Lions.
Man, it's really tough right now for the Bethany defense because if you get a really good stop on first to make it 2nd and long, you just haven't been able to find enough consistent defense to where you're able to really safeguard against either the run or the pass. Both have been there all night for Blanchard. But Blanchard's just doing a good job of taking the punches that this Bethany defense is throwing at him.
Cooksey rolling out to us right after the fake handoff. Finds Brayson for a quick little scat route kind of concept there as another first United first down for your Lions. Offense looking steady as they've been throughout this game.
Steady Eddie, 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go at 20-0. Yarbrough and Sons and First United getting their money's worth here in the first half. I think I can confidently say.
McIntyre's going to drive up the middle, gets about maybe 3 to 4 yards there. Just want to thank a couple of our other sponsors tonight, too. Keeler Custom Homes, The Oasis, Quick Wrench, Brightway Insurance, Sutterfield Surveying, Coops Performance Gym, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Hometown Healthcare, Casa de Wolf Designs, LB Realty Group, Blanchard Eye Care, and 10 Arrows Roofing.
And a big special shout-out to tonight's game sponsor, which happens to be the Squirtle Game of the Week. Unknown information to me until about 15, 20 minutes ago. The LB Realty Group stepping up and being tonight's game sponsor. Big shout-out to the LB Realty Group.
Cooksy's getting some pressure. Look, Blanchard might have been running a little kind of screen concept there, and that's where that pressure was coming from. Just didn't develop to their liking. Passes thrown away, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for your Lions from Bethany's 24-yard line.
I wasn't sure if that ball was uncatchable, but even if it wasn't, I think that was a really good high IQ play there from Brayson, choosing not to go after that ball. It was well behind the line of scrimmage, and I think he knew that he wouldn't be able to make anything of it, even if he would have been able to catch that ball.
Lions back to their 4-wide set. Over to the right hash mark here of the field. Cooksy's got McIntyre to his left. Cooksy's looking over to his left. He's like Cole Watkins again.
Goodness.
Cole has really stepped up in this offensive receiver spot tonight as he gets a Yarbrough Suns heating and air touchdown, 3rd of the night.
Folks, I'm going to be real honest with you. We really don't hint at LB Realty Group player of the games this early in the game, but your leader in the clubhouse before halftime strikes here is one Cole Watkins. I feel very confident in saying that. But also, as this kickoff is going to happen here, that's been one thing about these Blanchard receivers. It's been really, really good throughout the season. Yards after the catch, even after initial contact, whether it be Cole Watkins, Brayson Carter, Corrick Pierce, they've all been really, really good at making plays after the catch. We are almost through the second quarter, about a minute to go here. A minute 9, that is. Blanchard's currently still skunking Bethany 27-0. We're going to have a couple of quick messages, and we'll be back right after this. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School. Blanchard, America, the location for this thumping thus far. A minute 9 left to go in the second quarter. Blanchard up 27-0. Carson, my good sir, I pass it on to you.
Yeah, Bethany getting one of their best returns of the night off the Blanchard kickoff. Bethany returner is going to get that. Looks to be down at the 39-yard line.
This is a pretty good learning, or maybe just more of an example of the makeup of your team and why having a lot of these seniors matter. It was pretty much flip-flop last year. Bethany had the very, very dense, very strong senior year group. I think Blanchard heavily outweighs Bethany when it comes to upper-class seniors this year, and you're just kind of seeing the fruits of that labor You're seeing the consequence of, having guys that have been out there, guys that have put in the work. They've been playing steady together for years and years, and you're seeing the results of that right now. Got a ref timeout, I believe, for an injured player.
Bethany player down. Hope it's nothing too serious, as training staff's going to come out and take a look at him. But kind of harping back on the senior part that you were talking about, that's something that I feel like is something that goes unnoticed when you have a big group of seniors like that is their impact on special teams as well, as far as guys that are on kickoff or kick return, they're going to tackle or going to block, that they, it might not be what they had in mind as far as the senior year goes of being on the field, but they accept their role. They go out there and contribute on a aspect of the game that kind of a lot of times can be your make or break as far as team success.
When it comes to just the casual viewer, the casual fan, one that may not have, a son on a football team or something like that, you don't really get into that much into the weeds when it comes to that, like the breakdown of seniors, juniors. That's really kind of our job. And you're just, again, I really can't say enough that what this group of seniors has done, and just having the conversations with each and every one of them at the coaches show over this past season, they're a very tight-knit group. They're a group that hangs out with each other a lot outside of actual football practice or games, hangouts with the team. I mean, this is a very tight-knit group, and it's a group that not only works well together, just the class itself, but it's one that's really brought in and brought up the underclassmen and kept them at home. So just a really outstanding senior group we have here tonight.
Bethany's going to get looks to be kind of a curl route there for a first down. So Bethany kind of crosses that midfield point back into Blanchard's side of the field, as they're going to go with a little bit more up-tempo here with 40 seconds left. Ball is placed at looks to be the 43-yard line. And they're going to try to go back to the same side of the field to the right. Pass is incomplete, so we're going to get play clock stoppage here with 33 seconds.
So the big question is, we've seen Bethany trot out this special teams unit to kick a field goal. They ended up not doing it, but I think when you kind of see that happen on a fourth down and they're not going for it, especially with them being so deep into the opponent's red zone, the question is, how far out can that kicker go? So I wonder how far this Bethany offense has to go with 33 seconds left in order to get into that field goal range to get some semblance of points on the board before half.
Bethany's going to drop back. He's got pressure. Didn't really get brought down, but just had to duck down to avoid pressure and got taken down for it. I
believe that was Kate Saunders.
Timeout here on this upcoming third down with 25 seconds left.
It's 27-0 Blanchard with about 25 seconds left here in the first half. We're going to take a quick break. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Welcome back to Blanchard America. There's currently 25 seconds left to go here in the first half. Blanchard up 27-0 on Bethany.
And looks like Judson Gillen's pass down deep field is incomplete. Matthew Tonsing on the coverage.
Really good coverage there from Tonsing. Obviously stepping into that spot now for most of the year, basically, with the Reagan Palmer absence, and I think he's done a stellar job. Another senior, by the way.
Right.
Just being able, I think he may seem a little undersized to the average eye, but honestly, especially in high school football, I think quickness kind of trumps that a little bit because you're not going to see a whole lot of stellar quarterbacks that are able to make pinpoint throws, 40 yards down the field, and he was in a great spot right there to cause the breakup.
Yeah, that position in football is so technique heavy, as with like your front, your front line on defense, offenses. The punt is almost blocked there by
or maybe a finger. I don't know. It took a weird. Who was that? 66. That was Isaiah Drake. No, was that 66 or 5? Isaiah Drake. It was Isaiah Drake. I'm kind of partial. That was a great. Bethany. I haven't really seen. Blanchard brought the house a little bit when it came to the pressure, but it ended up being an average punt, not a great punt. But Blanchard, with how their offense has been churning, even though there might be 12 seconds, I would not be surprised here if they try and catch someone on an island just to see.
Yeah, Lions got 12 seconds to go with one timeout.
Oh,
so
they took the bait.
Maybe a little something quick as they go back to that kind of quad set up to the top. They're going to throw deep to Hudson Perryman. Gets a flag called in on the hold. So Lions going to get a new set of downs and a better field position to take one more deep shot before we go to the halftime.
So Bethany the safeties bit just a tiny bit on that quad set on the left side. That ended up freeing up Perryman to just be one-on-one with his defender. It was a good read there from Cooksey as well, seeing the safeties over a little too far on the left and making that throw.
So Lions going to have, with 7 seconds left, they're going to get the ball on their own 46-yard line. Still having a timeout. You might try to take another quick shot, maybe in the middle of the field. Just get a little bit closer, call your timeout, and take one more shot as Lions return back to that set, and we get another stoppage from the referees. I believe Bethany and
calls her
Bethany's going to use their last timeout of the half.
We're going to take it with them. There's 7 seconds left here in the second quarter. Blanchard up 27-0 on Bethany. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Welcome back to Blanchard America. 7 seconds left here in the second quarter. 27-0 Lions, looking to see if they might take another deep shot. Looks like Bethany's in the famous prevent-style defense.
Cooksey's kind of looking up to the top. He's got players in the middle of the field. If you can get down, call a timeout real quick.
That'll be the end of the first half, maybe. Craig does not look like he wants to dispute. But with that being said, Carson, we talked a lot coming into this game about the stakes. A very similar situation Blanchard was in last year against this Bethany squad. But to you, what has been the standout attributes of this game that this Blanchard squad has shown that has really turned the page and made it the score the way it is at 27-0?
I think the most encouraging thing has been the run game so far. I think as far as your kind of more challenging opponents in your district, that this has been the most good game that you've got from your ground game. Mikhail Howe and Vaughn have been doing great. Mikhail more so up the middle of the field, and McIntyre has been really getting some good looks off the edge there. So I think that's encouraging. I don't think I've seen anything too challenging as far as that the offense has had to respond to, but they are are doing a good job in the few times that they were challenged there on the goal line on staying up top. And I think, too, that emergence of Cole Watkins there at the receiver spot, it gives you some more depth that you've had to use throughout the year in those positions with different people being in and out.
Cole Watkins has done a great job tonight on the offense. Truly, all aspects, all cylinders for Blanchard right now are firing here going into halftime. I will say this. There is another score that Blanchard fans will want to stay on task for here at halftime. We're going to bring it to you after this 7-minute break during the halftime scoreboard update brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage. I believe Tuttle Newcastle also playing tonight, correct, Carson?
If not this week, it'd be next week. But
there's a big matchup happening, but we'll be back in 7 minutes to tell you all about it. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football. Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School. Blanchard, Oklahoma, the location of Carson. We kind of talked about it before going into pregame. A shocking, maybe not shocking, but a game where, maybe you think it's a little bit closer, especially with the implications happening. But with that being said, Blanchard is currently up on Bethany at halftime, 27-0. Let's get to this because we kind of teased it a little bit going into break. It's finally that time of the year where, teams that you're kind of just waiting to see, like, oh, I wonder how this situation might turn out. There's no more hiding, especially in 4A too, because a lot of the teams that you expect to be at the top backloaded the other teams that are also at the top. So I'll let you take over. This is the halftime scoreboard update for 4A and beyond, brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage.
Yeah, like you were kind of alluding to it, how important some of these other games are too. I mean, obviously, if you're in the driver's seat, you don't focus on that too much. But
right.
With so many years in the past where it's been
and we're just
like a 4-3-way tie in that district, that's
right.
Where
and listen,
everybody's beating up on everybody.
We're just doing our jobs here, okay? Honestly, I don't care if you don't care about these other scores. But listen, there are some people out there that do, and this is the segment for them. So without further ado, let's see how the class of 4A is stacking up across the state.
So some 4A2 common opponents, another big rivalry game kind of across town in Tri-City is Newcastle and Tuttle. Newcastle is leading that 13-7 at halftime.
Okay.
Some other 4A scores, we've got Ada and Poto, probably another game with some hype around it. Both teams undefeated coming into it. Poto leads 19-7 in the second quarter. Woodward and Elk City. Elk City's leading 21-14 at half. Weatherford looks to be handling John Marshall 42-8 at halftime. Some other scores: Hara and Classen, two other district opponents, 7-6. Hara leading at halftime. Wagner and Catoosa. Wagner, another team we always talk about on these segments, kind of looking out in 4A. They're handling their business over there, 40-15 at halftime. Wagner leading Catoosa. Clinton is trailing Cash currently, 7-0 at halftime. And Oologah and Cushing. Oologah leading 14-7 in the second quarter.
Interesting.
Looking at, okay, that was a duplicate. So Bridge Creek is currently up on Tecumseh. Tecumseh is a team that we will play next week after this matchup.
Final game of the season, regular season.
17-14. Bridge Creek leading that in the second quarter. Fort Gibson is trailing Salazar 35-21 at half. And that'll kind of round out our 4A scores there. Chickasha played Mustang JV squad last night, kind of a Thursday game. Chickasha came out on top of that.
Defense optional.
52-40.
Defense optional for that one. I'll let you
I've
go
seen
to
higher scores. So
I'll let you go to 6A1 just because I want to see who Bixby is absolutely demolishing. But with that being said, there was a talking point that me and Todd brought up last week during this segment. It was the Ada. It was an Ada topic because obviously, again, it's high school football. We're not going to go out and see these teams on TV anytime. So it's really, and it's a little bit easier to do the score comparisons because high school it's just there's a lot of really good teams and there's a lot of other teams and there's just not a whole lot of. There's a lot of separation when it comes to who's really, really good and who's not, and it usually is able to translate to those scores. Ada was one of those teams that I just had no idea. I didn't know if it was just Ada benefiting from maybe just a couple of the lesser teams in their district up front, because I think Poto and Ada are district 4A4, I believe. I could be wrong, though. I think those are the only two.
Ada's closer on that side of the state. Ada used to be in our district before we got reorganized into.
I believe they're coming back next year
in
the reclassification.
Ardmore's being bumped down from 5A into 4A, and they'll be in our district.
Can't wait to make that trip.
I can get that pulled up. We'll take a look here.
I know Medill's also coming back, so can't wait to make that trip as well. That'll just be a joy.
I know we made that drive in 2012 for a first-round playoff game. It was cold then, too, and, so we got a couple of long road trips, but when you're in a state like this, you have to. I mean,
but with that being
other places.
With that being said, though, on the Ada thing, them kind of holding their own against Poto tells me a little bit about an Ada team that I really truly can't gauge until they play some of those other heavy hitters. But with that being said, Carson, What's going on in 6A1 right now?
Yeah, 6A1. I know last week I was kind of surprised when Bixby and Westmore were playing that. I think Westmore had actually scored the most points anybody had scored on them last week, but Bixby won that comfortably. But they get the other Moore team and just the Moore Lions tonight. Bixby leading that at halftime with a comfortable 33-3 score.
Okay.
Union, the second-ranked team in 6A1, kind of a traditional Tulsa powerhouse. They actually trail Edmond Memorial 13-14 at half. So maybe just a little missed PAT action similar to what we have down here. But Mustang bouncing back. They're leading Edmond North 34-3 in the second quarter. Norman North is up on ranked number 4 Westmore 16-0 at halftime. So I kind of saw it on Twitter, some other things about just kind of that district. I forget who's all in there, but they're kind of beating up on each other right now, so they could end up having almost a 4-3-way tie type thing that we're kind of used to in our own.
It makes me a little of course we don't really follow closely. I wonder if there's an injury with Bixby, because it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to them being up by more.
I think it's just them graduating a lot of people type thing. I mean, they had the their tight end kids over at Arkansas now.
That's Has, H-A-S-Z, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to pronounce that. Didn't want to try to butcher that.
That's okay. That's all right. I'll do the butchering for you.
But also, too, kind of back into the season, and maybe it's their senior night, and they're mixing in some other kids that have been in that program.
Let's go to 5A just real quick. I
know 5A last week. I kind of checked in on that Guthrie and that Carl Albert game. That was a really good watch, exciting into that one.
Del City, obviously one of the powerhouses in 5A. They're usually always around the championship conversation. Obviously Guthrie in a really, really high action, an awesome game, a game as advertised versus Carl Albert last
came
week.
Right down to the wire. I mean, last play for Carl Albert, I think that score ended up being 24-21.
I mean, that's a Guthrie team before that game that had only given up 3 points all season, and that 3 was against Tuttle by a field goal. So
I think they played Piedmont too, that we lost to, and they shut them out and won that comfortably. So they're a solid team out there in 5A.
Yeah,
they're taking business on their end, 51-6 against Lawton Ike. Del City up on Coweta, 36-7. Elgin's kind of another team that's emerged out of 5A. We used to play them a couple years back for a little bit of non-district games. But they've got a really good group going there. They're undefeated. They're up on Lawton Mac, 55-0.
Who's 7-1.
So they're a team that, if you kind of follow Oklahoma Preps, this is kind of one you see out there, an exciting one, and kind of see they get in playoffs, maybe make some noise and upset a traditional powerhouse like a Carl Albert, a Del City,
absolutely,
a Guthrie, a Midwest City, or a Bishop McGinnis. So
thank you for taking us around the state of Oklahoma with those scores. Brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage, of course. As always, we're going to take a 5-minute break here. It is currently senior night. Some of the band seniors are getting introduced and honored here at halftime. But for myself, Drake Vitito, and Carson Craig, we're going to take a 5-minute break here and come back. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School, Blanchard, America. The site for a drubbing is the only thing I honestly can call it right now. Carson, Blanchard is currently up on Bethany 27-0. I just wanted to point out something that we failed to when halftime initially began. Coach Craig gathered all the guys around before they ran into the locker room. Probably just to keep their heads into it. I know just because from experience, both of us, it's very, very easy to take your eyes off the prize, if you will, when you're up by this much. But what do you think Coach Craig was maybe saying to the guys to keep them, keep them on track leading into this second half? Because obviously, even though this Bethany team hasn't scored points, we have seen at times this first half where they have been able to drive the ball down the field a little bit.
Yeah, they've done it a couple other times during these crucial games. I think kind of what you're alluding to. I don't think there's too much concern or criticism from him as far as your plays. Everything's been disciplined, really minimal penalties throughout the game. Haven't had any turnovers executed. Made a great stand earlier when you were kind of getting challenged early on. So I think what you're saying, just, hey, keep your head on straight. Still got to go out there, respect your opponent for 2 more quarters. Take care of business for 2 more quarters, and you're all set. And if you win this game, it won't matter for us, but there's always, too, just how those ties play out. The rules are set up with your district points. There's a maximum amount that you can score on each opponent. So
15,
every
right?
point will matter.
I could be wrong.
It's been
Todd knows the answer, and we'll just let him keep that answer.
I mean, 15 sound. I know it's something like not a traditional touchdown type number.
Go and win, and it doesn't matter. We don't have to talk about finite points.
And I think it's, as long as you win, you don't have to worry about that. But 2, you just don't want to let them crawl back, get it close, and there might be some other opponents that you want to stay lower down. And kind of those ties that'll play out underneath us.
It was a situation that played itself out last year too, because I believe the point system that we were talking about, when you have a bunch of people with like score or like records, there were some people. I remember last year, I believe it was Bethany Tuttle that played the very last, and I think Tuttle had to win by a certain amount of points to get the maximum amount of points.
I think it was Newcastle and Bethany.
Newcastle,
I do
Bethany?
recall us we got done with whatever game we played, and everybody had it up on their phones. It was in overtime. Newcastle had like a wide open touchdown to win the game that they dropped, and Bethany rallied and won that game. And I think we were. And you never ever really hear this, but it was kind of wanting Newcastle to win that game for our benefit. As far as matchups went, because it was another one of those. Hey, if they win, we got to go here. If they don't, we're on the road or we're hosting. One of those type of things.
But with that being said, number 1 is the best place to be when you talk about district seeding for that coveted 2 home game slot when it comes to playoff time. Before kickoff gets started here, I just want to shout out some of our sponsors for this season. It really is crazy just talking about this season as a whole. It feels like it's gone on very, very quickly, very rapid pace compared to last year. Obviously, this was our first year last year doing this, but quick shout out to 10 Arrows Roofing, First United Bank and Mortgage, Blanchard Eye Care, Yarborough and Sons Heating and Air, LB Realty Group, Keeler Custom Homes, Hometown Healthcare, Casa de Wolf Designs, The Oasis, Quick Wrench, Setterfield Surveying, Coops Performance Gym, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, and Brightway Insurance. Thanks for being with us last year and this year. We couldn't do it without you. Carson, I pass it on to you for the beginning of the second half.
All right, second half coming up. Lions going to take the defensive side of the field first to start us off. Bethany's got the ball to start on their own 32-yard line after the kind of direct squib kick. Lions waiting to Bethany take the field and see what formations they're going to go for this second half. Also, too, just kind of thinking about it, this is the if with the Lions win tonight and next week, I want to say this is their first district title since 2020.
Really? Was that the year that
was
Clinton
the year they
came
went to
in
semifinals,
right.
and we hosted. It was kind of weird. It was weird having a semifinals at your own place. Bethany, kind of there for a moment. It looked like the running back was going to have some yardage there to the right, but he's brought down.
Tyler Hughes wasn't having any of that. I gave a high compliment in my mind to Tyler Hughes this past week at the coaches show. I think he is one of the most physical defensive players on this Blanchard Lions roster. There is a time where if Tyler Hughes is able to have a connection with you when you have the ball, it's always going to look like it hurts. And I just think when you talk about linebackers and how much they're colliding with people, having that physicality all game is very special, a very special quality that not everyone has at this level.
Yeah, Judson Gillen for the Broncos takes a hand off, kind of there, ran to their right on a little sweep action. He gets around the corner and gets a first down. So Lions defense going to set back up for 1st and 10 from Bethany's own 43-yard line.
This is a very sneaky, important first drive here for this Blanchard defense. They've been able to hold Bethany at bay, but just like we were alluding to during the halftime talk, don't let Bethany get any sort of momentum coming in. It's basically a new game. You know that's what their coach told them at the half. Just treat it like it's 0-0, go bit by bit. And just see if you can, scratch and claw at maybe getting some points. So if you're the Blanchard defense here, really just sink in and try and replicate what you did in that first half.
Yeah, Broncos there kind of trying some things we didn't see in that first half. Now kind of a little bit into their playbook is just the quick pass out to the outside receiver on the right, just right there at the snap. Go get about 4 yards like he did. So Broncos got 2nd and 7 from the 46 now. Just kind of testing the waters here, seeing if they can get some momentum going on their side. Bethany's going to take the snap, rolling out to the left side, and he's going to cut back into the middle. Is brought down by 2 Lions defenders, Ross Johnston and Gage Ellison on the tackle there. So kind of a critical 3rd down coming up for Bethany, for them to feel like they've got a chance in the second half.
Right.
Kind of get some confidence back underneath them here.
And with that being said, another opportunity for this Lions group to build upon what they did in the first half, just a complete and utter dominance on that side of the field.
Jackie Payne's back in for quarterback. The Broncos here, kind of a pistol set and a tight end to his right. He's going to motion receiver across, get some pressure, and that confidence is probably out now as Jake Carter gets a sack. It's going to help him up, and Lions liking their chances now at the upcoming 4th and long for the Broncos.
Pretty much in the blink of an eye, there was about 4 Lions jerseys there in the backfield. I think we had a little bit of a linebacker blitz, and I think a couple of those defensive guys up front were just able to get past their blocks, and the Bethany quarterback was not ready for it. Just a great stand there from the Blanchard defense to start out the second half.
Broncos presenting a formation like they're going to punt, and they will. Terrence Johnson is back for the Lions to field it. He's going to maybe try to get a good bounce here. Takes a Lions favorable bounce up to the 41-yard line, unable to go in and return that in for Terrence. So Lions offense going to take the field again for their first drive of the second half.
I enjoyed the try by the Bethany special teams guy there to hit it,
swatting it out
to make it seem like
it's
it
at
was
a goal line,
right.
like we saved it from crossing that 1-yard line.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm very intrigued here to see what this Blanchard Lions offense can do. Let's see if you can put a whole game together. Truly don't think it's very hard to have a perfect game, but when you say a complete game, maybe just a game where you feel like you did good for, even if it's 85% of the game. We haven't seen that in a while for this offense, so let's see if we can do it.
Corrick's going to get a quick screen, get some great blocking by Brayson upfield. Corrick's going to get about 6 yards off the quick screen pass there.
This is a pretty interesting situation for the offense as well when you just talk about how you're going to attack the second half, because you've been finding success with the run game. It made that first quarter go by very fast.
Yes.
So you're just wondering if maybe it's a situation where Cooksey tries to, still try and get some swagger back with some of his receivers when it comes down to timing. But
Second and 4th with 9 minutes left as the referees are going to blow the whistle down. Going to have a false start after some motion there in the backfield.
Is that the first penalty on the offense tonight, I believe?
Nah, you had a few others. We had the ineligible man downfield earlier.
That's right.
And I think
Good
we
call.
had 1 or 2 other false starts, but none that have been crucial.
Right.
At least in some other games when they had been. But yeah, kind of as far as the playbook goes, I would anticipate really a lot of sticking with that run, not going anything too deep as far as passing goes, unless they just absolutely sell out to something.
Yeah, and you
might
just see a
some
matchup you like, maybe.
More of, hey, this guy's cheating into the box, get it on the edge, get one of your playmakers, go get 4 or 5 yards. As Cole Watkins going to do another just quick little hitch, sit down. He's going to reach the ball out, try to get an extra yard or 2. Just short of the first down, about by 2 yards. So Lions got an upcoming 3rd and 2nd with 8:37 left in the 3rd quarter.
And it's never a bad option, especially on nights like tonight, where if your offense is just Cole Watkins, I think that's going to be just okay, especially with the type of output he's had this game. But big 3rd down here for the Lions. Let's see if they can capitalize.
As Carter's going to motion across, Cooksy's going to hand it off directly to, I believe that was Mikhail Howell up the middle.
We're going to get
right at the yard line. This might be chain measurement.
Let's do it. Let's just get weird during this game.
So referee signals a first down. So Lions get their first United first down of the second half.
It's a great sign. It's very much picking up where you left off in that first half. That this Bethany defense hasn't really presented much of a challenge to this Blanchard offense when it comes to getting any sort of consistency and stopping the ball. So let's see if Blanchard can keep riding this wave of momentum.
Yeah, and I think Lions going to really, unless kind of a Cole Watkins type situation where you've got just plenty of room to get a pass off and caught, I think it's just going to be staying on the ground, keep the clock running, keeping your guys healthy, not showing too much on film either for upcoming playoffs, things like that.
And I'll say this too. Blanchard just does a really good job in general of really picking on those mismatches, being able to identify those, like you saw with Cole Watkins there on an island with that little short.
They tried it even earlier with when they went that 5-wide set and had Perryman in a corner lined up on him. It was just, if that safety doesn't hang over, throw it up to him, see if he can go make a play. Lions going to go with a trip set to their right. Cooksy's going to hand the delay handoff here to Mikhail Howell. He's going to go up to the middle. Gets a gain of about, looks to be 15, maybe 16 yards. So another First United first down for the Blanchard Lions as they're pressing into Bethany's side of the field now with 6 minutes and 53 seconds.
Gonna give a quick shout out to one Trey Spencer on the offensive line there. We really don't get to call out pancake blocks a whole lot in high school football, but if there was ever a textbook definition of a pancake block, the senior Trey Spencer just did it. Offensive line has been stellar all night for Blanchard.
Cooksy getting an adjustment called in from the sideline, letting his front men know. He's going to drop back. Looks like they kind of had something that they liked there, and he's going to take off now. Tries to bounce to the outside. Bethany stayed sound there and respected the quarterback run. Brings Cooksy down, and that's going to bring up a second and 6 for your Lions.
Might have been a similar look to the touchdown pass that was thrown to Corey Pierce. At least it was the same route that he did on that touchdown pass. But
like you were saying, he's kind of working his way to the middle, but double coverage there. Cooksy knew better to not. It wasn't anything you needed to force. Thought you had something, ended up not having it. So just go get you some positive yardage there, and let's go for another play. Cooksy's going to stay leading his offense with a trip set on the right. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got Corey Pierce, I believe, just a little bit too far out of Corey's reach.
I think that was Watkins. Was that 11?
6. I think Watkins up top on left.
I mistook the 2 stripes on the shoulder for 11. I see what I did.
When they first switched these jerseys, I think that had a lot of people. I was getting a lot of people on the Texas A&M, Adidas shoulder stripe.
Yeah. Apologies. That was a miss to Corey Pierce, not number 11 Cole Watkins.
Next uniform set. I'm gonna tell Coach Craig to. Let's ditch the shoulder stripes, at least if they're vertical.
Yeah.
All All right, Cooksy's got trips again to his right. Shotgun formation with Mikhail Howe there to his right as Brayson's going to get a quick slant across the middle. Bounces off a Bethany defender. Keeps working his way to the left side of the field. Gets a nice first down for about a 19, 20-yard gain. So a First United first down for this Blanchard Lions as they continue to keep driving. And like we said, just little stuff here and there they might see that could have just been an option out of an RPO type set where, hey, if this guy crashes down and Brayson's right there, get him the ball and go get a first down.
And I'm going to give a special shout out to all those receivers that catch in those short, intermediate, middle of the field, and it's still able to get those extra yards because you just have that little mental in the back of your head telling you there's probably someone really close to me.
Cooks are getting pressure from his backside there as throws a pass away to the right side. Flag comes out from the
far side
line
judge.
So I don't know if might have just been kind of intentional grounding call here.
The Bethany corner on the closest side to us was trying to
they drop it in the pocket, so
intentional grounding.
No, he's still in the tackle box. I don't know. I need to get touched up on my rules for high school.
Right.
But I think his receiver wasn't anywhere near in the area for it to be considered.
I believe Korick was that far receiver, and he ended up turning inside. Yeah, intentional grounding will be the call here.
So there was also another penalty for a legal man downfield. So Bethany's going to opt to decline that penalty to take the intentional grounding. That way they get the loss of down on top of the yardage that it'll back the Lions up.
I will say, even though they do get backed up pretty far, it still puts everything into perspective a little bit, especially with how this game has been going. It would not shock me here if Blanchard's able to gobble up some big, chunk yard plays here because Bethany just has not had an answer for you for most of the game. But we'll see what the Blanchard Lions can draw up here on offense.
Yeah, because the first down line looks to be marked at the 9-yard line, and the Lions are currently looks to be pretty far back, about the 27 maybe.
Yeah.
Cal Howe's going to get a little run, kind of bounces it to his left. Didn't have much there as Bethany rallies up, gets him down. So 3rd and long coming up for your Lions with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter.
No man's land as well, so you just got to assume that it's going to be 2 plays here if they don't get this 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, 2 plays. You can play clocks at 40 for each of them, so you run that all the way down. I mean, you run off very close to about 2 minutes worth of time in this third quarter, which is really zooming by since we're down to already 4 minutes and 20 seconds in the third quarter. Just kind of lulling us to sleep probably on both sides.
Right.
As Cooksy's going to be empty and alone in the backfield, a 5-wide set. Carter's going to jet motion across. Cooksy's looking across. He's got, I believe, his Korick downfield, just a little overthrown. That was for Hudson Perryman. My apologies.
Never a bad idea to throw it to the, maybe the tallest and longest guy on the field in the end zone, but good break up there from the Bethany defender.
Yeah, since Lions didn't run it there, clock is stopped right now. Got to anticipate due to that, they'll just maybe take another deep long shot here and try to see if they can manage to get a first down. If not, hopefully just pin Bethany back a couple of yards for this upcoming.
Rely on your defense, who's been
drive.
Doing nothing but their jobs tonight.
Yeah, give them a little bit more room to bend if they need to bend. So kind of a screen out here to Korick on the edge as he's going to take off with some speed, gets kind of hit, goes up flying in the air, and he's just short of a first down. So Lions had almost got that right there. Great job by Korick to go and try and get that, but
really good
Bethany
play too.
Gets there. I want to say that's the first 4 turnover on downs or punt that Bethany's had in tonight's game.
Yeah, just kind of a testament to what the Lions have been able to do on offense thus far. But in kind of a weird way, they were able to get enough yards to where this may be the best spot that this Blanchard defense has had all game long. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the we have a camera on a pole
I'm
here.
Trying to figure out whose that was.
I just we both alums of this fine school, and just the technology that has been implemented since we've both been in school. I'm a little jealous. I'll just say it. I'll be plain about it. I wish that I could have been in the stands in the student section when we had a camera. I would have acted a fool, if you will.
I think every generation that came before us can probably say the
That's
same.
right.
So,
I wish we had this when these
you
younger
guys had helmets
here.
with padding in it that actually fit your head. It
Right.
wasn't just a solid rock of what they considered padding, and you like hit your hand on it, and you're like, this thing didn't move at all.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, there's that.
Maybe a bigger, nicer high school is usually a common one that maybe people will point
maybe
to.
it was just, you guys had an electronic scoreboard. We had to flip cards back in the day on the side. So it's always evolving.
There's
always,
like five.
improvements.
There's like 5 big buildings here. There was only like the one, which was the high school, or maybe even the weight room.
Yeah, they had. I think Bethany's going to get kind of some good momentum there from looks to be from Judson Gillen, kind of there on the edge run, finally brought down. Bethany's got a 3rd and short coming, or nope, that's going to be signaled a first down. So Bethany getting some momentum here, not much, but a new set of downs. Can never complain about that. And they've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You're right, it has gone by fast.
At least the third quarter has. I mean, that first half was pretty fast, but I think
the end of the second
takes
quarter
the
kind
cake.
of caught up with us a little bit.
As jet motion is going to go really break off for one of Bethany's bigger plays of the night, other than maybe that pass play earlier, and obviously the big quarterback run earlier for about 50 yards. So they're kind of get some guys over, get them. It's probably a little harder for them to lock in right now, knowing that you got the third quarter's almost over and you got a 27-point lead. But
and at the end of the day, high school football, a team is going to find some success,
Right.
especially with Bethany. It's not a bad team in any stretch of the imagination. You're going to have plays here and there. Again, a perfect game is impossible in the history of sports, but it's just about taking the ebbs and flows of the game and being able to control them, even if you have like this Bethany offense gashing sometimes for yards.
As they've got kind of another play there where they get it they got somebody downfield just a little bit overthrown again. Looks to be Jackie Payne was the one quarterbacking there. So we got a flag up and referee point to our side. Don't know if we're gonna get some unsportsmanlike conduct for maybe something that was said down on the field on the Lions.
Very similar if it is unsportsmanlike. Excuse me. If you're the Blanchard here, just it's really hard, especially in a game like this where the implications were big for both teams, and maybe one team is performing not to the standard that they thought they were, and they start maybe chirping a little bit, or maybe just doing all this extracurricular stuff after the play. We saw this happen at class in SAS too. If you're Blanchard, just knowing the lead you have, just keep it all to yourself. There's a lot of factors that are going to play into a game, but I think this group here by Coach Craig has done a good job in keeping the main thing, and not really letting a whole lot of outside extracurricular stuff really interfere with the game itself.
Yeah, that's probably the one penalty I'd say is just completely undisciplined that you've had tonight.
Yes.
Gage Ellison subbed out. I'm kind of suspecting that might have been who it was called on. Kind of get some counseling there on the side of hey, reel it in. You want to play the game with emotions, but you also got to have that control and use that edge to your advantage, but not to your disadvantage. Bethany's going to fake kind of a little speed option on the edge and then go with a deep pass. Payne's pass is just out of reach yet again for Bethany receiver. Trying to get a number on who that was for Bethany, but 2nd and 10 coming up for the Broncos on their own 49-yard line with 1:18 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, give credit to that Blanchard secondary so much this game. There's been a couple passes that Bethany's been able to complete, but for the most part, the coverage has just been outstanding on that side of the ball.
Bethany's going to go with kind of a fake pass, kind of delayed handoff going back towards the other side. Lions stay disciplined, bring him down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Broncos. So,
and this is what we've been talking about, the ebb and flow, right? Bethany was able to gash Blanchard a couple times earlier in the drive for some big yard plays, but now with this 3rd and 9, I think Blanchard has kind of settled back in. If you want to call it the law of averages, sure, go ahead. I'll call it Blanchard being pretty stinking good on defense, and really bringing this Bethany defense back down to earth where they've been for most of the game. But big 3rd and 9 here to just keep sealing out this Bethany offense, who has not had a whole lot of great success tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking over at let's see if
is that a timeout? Delay game? Oh, yeah. The clock struck 0, I'm seeing.
Got some more
whistles. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Either a measurement or maybe they're claiming the play clock wasn't started correctly.
Now he's waving off the flag.
Waving it off because Bethany burned a timeout before it.
All right, 25 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Blanchard still up on Bethany, 27-0. We're going to be right back after this quick 1-minute break. You are listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system?
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex. The first time out, I believe the first break of the 3rd quarter for us, Carson. This quarter's flown by.
Bethany's going to target Rios Reynolds. Had the coverage there. Gets beat on kind of a deep slant route as Bethany finally breaks the seal off on the shutout, putting 6 points up on the board right before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think Rio just kind of got lost there for a little bit, and the Bethany wide receiver was able to create enough space to make that catch and punch it in for 6. But with about 16 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, I think we might be seeing Bethany go for 2 here. 16, 24. No, why would they do that? I'm doing math right now. They don't need to do that. They just need to go get 3 more touchdowns.
I don't know. Maybe this one
because of the
shorted
missed
somehow.
because of the missed field goal in the very or the missed extra point, I should say, in the very first drive there by Blanchard. But with that being said, Bethany gets on the board here very late in the 3rd quarter, 16 seconds to go to be exact. Blanchard is up on Bethany 27-7. We're going to take a quick break here listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going
Welcome back to the Oscar Brooks Sports Complex here in Blanchard, America, where we are about to call it curtains on the third quarter here. Blanchard currently leads Bethany 27-7. Bethany just got their first score of the game coming late here in this third quarter. Carson, I will pass it on to you for the final 16, my friend.
Yeah, Bethany just got a kind of explosive play there. It went to the house about, what was that, about 40, 50 yards.
Yes.
So Bethany kind of really likes to
I
try
know,
this
twice.
little special teams look where they're all bunched up. They're going to try an onside, and then they line back up to regularly kick it, but might kind of get a little high kick there as we do. Lions going to field that, I believe. Is that Brayson getting that?
Corrick, I believe.
Corrick.
It's not number 11, I promise you that.
Cole Watkins is not on kick return.
Cole Watkins has done great tonight, but everyone looks like 11 out there when they're turned sideways.
So Corrick passes, I think, just past the midfield mark here to be on Bethany's side of the field at the 49-yard line. So 10 seconds left here to go in the third quarter. Anticipate, unless we see something just glaringly open, it might just be a handoff to McIntyre as he rounds out the backfield with Cooksey. Cooksey's going to hand it off to McIntyre. McIntyre goes up the middle, gets a gain of 5 yards there. So that's going to round out the third quarter for the Lions. So Bethany improving from their second half with a touchdown, brings the score 27-7 to your Lions heading into the fourth quarter.
Give a quick shout-out to tonight's game sponsor, LB Realty Group. Big shout-out for them for being tonight's game sponsor, as well as the player of the game, which is yet to be revealed. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We are ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Welcome back. We're at the start of the fourth quarter here. Blanchard looking to drive.
I think a double pass is coming. They're trying with Perryman there. This out of a 5-wide set. So
I think Bethany might have had it covered. It looks like Brayson Carter was going to be the target on that double pass. But I think there might have been as many as 3 Bethany defenders covering him. So it's a good job by the Bethany defense to sniff out the trickery that Blanchard was trying to cause. It's going to be an interesting ride home here, Carson. There's about 11 minutes. We obviously just started the fourth quarter, but Bethany, for the first time, was cooking a little bit in that drive. So we'll see if Blanchard can respond here with a long one.
Yeah, this is one time tonight where you've seen the defense break instead of bending. They were bending there for a little bit, and Bethany just broke off a big one. As Cooksey's going to dump it off real quick to Cork in the middle of the field, get him back into striking distance.
I was about to say, well.
Upcoming fourth down. So looks Cork's catch for about 11 yards there. Now we've got a fourth and 5 coming up.
Fourth and
so
manageable
go
right
back
here.
to the 5-wide set.
I love the exaggeration right here on the trips on the left.
Hard count by the Lions. Almost get Broncos defenders to jump off sides, but they stay out of that neutral zone. And Cooksey's looking at the sideline, get the play called in. They're also just kind of letting this clock run down. Cooksy's letting his lineman know what the change is. 4 seconds left on the play clock. He's going to take the snap. Looking to his right, he's got a slanter.
Court Parrish
Drops it right at the end. They're going to call that a catch still.
That was a really, really good pass
That
there
was
from
a
Cooksey.
catch by Tonsing.
Oh, Thompson.
Oh, wait, no, that is Corrick. Sorry.
I think Corrick may have landed
Corrick,
awkwardly.
But he
but
kind of let go of that pass right at the end after he hit the ground. So I don't know if something with his hand, shoulder, arm, but hopefully nothing too major.
It was one of those two. Those are tough. The quick slants where you have to fully extend, especially at the speed that Cooksey's throwing them. Those are really good catch there from Corrick to make up for that sack that happened earlier in that set of downs. But great response here from the Blanchard O.
Cooksy's going to take a snap and just take off running up the middle with it, get a little gain of maybe about 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 coming up for your Lions with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lions pushing into Bethany territory with the ball on the 30-yard line now.
So this is the spot we're talking about, right? It's very manageable field position. About 9 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here. Really going to be expecting here on out a very slow, methodical offensive output here from Blanchard.
Yeah, and it might say with passing unless we go kind of right there. As I say, Tyler Hughes motioned into the backfield from that slot receiver position, just goes up to the middle, gets a First United first down for your Lions. So I know you were talking earlier, the physicality of Tyler and kind of an underrated aspect of his game too has kind of been his utility on the offensive side as well, that he's come in that slot receiver position a couple times, and they can throw some wrinkles into their game like that where he's motioning across and you don't know is it going to be like a jet sweep handoff. In that case, he just lines up and goes for a straight line dive down the middle.
And he made people feel it on that run too as well.
So here we go again. He's going to motion back out. Cooksy's play's going to get blown up right away by Bethany defenders, so they were fully prepared for that one.
It's a little tough because Tyler Hughes technically is the third running back on the depth chart, and so it's kind of almost a giveaway because we don't really get to see him that much, but when you do see him in that spot, maybe a little bit of an opportunity for the defense to kind of know what's going on. But we have a called timeout here on the field. 8:15 left to go here in the fourth. 27-7 your score. Blanchard currently driving down the field. We will take a quick break right after this. You are listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For more than 100 years, Oklahoma Career Tech has been training skilled and dedicated individuals, giving clear career paths to over 90,000 graduates a year. These individuals are the heartbeat of the Oklahoma workforce, serving thousands of companies, fueling this state's economy. Oklahoma is powered by Career Tech.
Brooks Sports Complex here on the campus of Blanchard High School. 8:10 left to go. Blanchard currently up 27-7, driving down the field, Carson.
And Blanchard's really been loving that little look out with the 5-wide set and motioning Tyler Hughes in the backfield as Cooksey fakes the handoff, gets around the edge, had some good yardage, but it looks like the ball came loose right at the end of that run. So first turnover of the night for the Lions offense. Not a crucial one, but still one you hate. Kind of had a good drive going there and to end it on that way.
Yeah, if there is a positive thing to say, if you want to spin it that way, it's pretty much outside of a couple yards the best place to fumble a football. that far into your opponent's territory.
Fumbled just far enough where it didn't end up being a touchback.
Right, yeah. But this is the first time this Blanchard defense is going to face a Bethany offense after a score on the previous drive. So we'll see if they can make up from their past shortcomings as far as last drive go, and maybe kind of put to bed this entire operation for the night.
Handoff by Bethany to their left side of the field. Doesn't go for much. Brought down kind of again by that Blanchard front defense.
Really good job by Gage Ellison right there. It looked like a bigger hole than it actually was for the running back for Bethany, and Gage did a really good job of keeping a really good handle, whether it be a jersey or actually maybe a limb or something, maybe an arm. But he was in front of him, and then he got pushed back.
Bethany with only 2 receivers wide to their right, and they're going to motion kind of a double heavy set to the left as a flag comes in. Most likely another false start. We've seen that a lot tonight from the Broncos offense, and it's really been to their disadvantage.
Big detriment,
honestly. A lot of times they've been – anytime they have some motion in that backfield, it kind of throws off one of their guys, and really just been something that they'll see on film and that they'll need to improve on as they look to, maybe try to make some noise in playoffs on their own side of the bracket.
Let's go get a safety. How about that? Let's just go get a safety.
Let's see. What was the last game we had a safety?
Let's initiate a
challenge. I know we've had one this year.
Have we?
I want to say we had one. It was probably early on, like a Noble, or as Bethany's going to get another big passing play again here. Brayson Carter rallies up to it, gets him down, but Terrence Johnson got beat there. Looks like Malachi Chapman maybe.
We touched on it a little bit in that first quarter. These wideouts for Bethany are good enough to get space. They're athletes themselves. They have the speed to do it. I think in just some cases, the quarterback for Bethany was just not able to get it to them in those spots. But now you're kind of seeing a little bit of a turn the page here when those shots actually hit. But like we said, ebb and flows, take control.
As Bethany's passing game is getting going here, kind of going the second part of the game as they get another first down. They're driving, and Blanchard defense seeing a step up. You don't want to let them score too fast if you're going to let them score, because a score here by Bethany keeps it within a 2-score game with 6 minutes. So we've seen they're capable of explosive plays, and it's something that you don't want to give them that chance to make it a game.
You don't want to have to think about the missed extra point in the very beginning of the game.
So direct snap here from Bethany. Trying to see if Judson Gillen may have been the one taking the direct snap. Might have actually been Jackie Penn. I'll have to check again, but Blake Woods brought the Blanchard. My apologies, the Bethany.
Hey, listen. You don't have to apologize for anything at all.
Second down here for the Broncos with 5:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Ball is on the Blanchard 20-yard line. So trips to their right. They're going to roll out on that side, try to find one of their receivers as looks like just out of reach for the Bronco receiver.
Man, this is a very similar situation right now to the big pass play that happened. Obviously, they're a little bit further into Blanchard territory than last time, but just don't give up the big one. They're going to be looking for it. You've been able to create a little bit of separation these past couple of drives with your wideouts. If you're the Blanchard defense here, just sink in and be physical here on this 3rd and 10.
It's like Bethany was targeting Alex Strotter on that pass.
Got to imagine they're going to bring some sort of pressure here.
So Bethany's going to return to a rollout. The quarterback's going to take it. Blanchard sideline wanting holding as well as the fans. Don't know if any of the
we apologize.
Filtering in.
We apologize for any of the extracurricular voices you might hear that are not Carson and I's.
Not yet. Knock on wood. But no, we're not going to do that here. But Bethany still trying to get within a more attainable reach. First down now from Blanchard's 9-yard line. They're going to pistol set heavy to their right side, as they're going to try to get the ball out in the flats. Looks like it's batted down by Tyler Hughes.
Yep.
So good job by Tyler getting a hand on it, because you never know, kind of out in space right there by the goal line. One man misses. You're talking about Bethany getting 6 and potentially 7 more points up on the board.
Really good individual example there of not only just a really good individual effort, but instinctual football, being able to recognize what the quarterback's doing there, what the play is. Tyler Hughes coming up with a big swat down.
Bethany is dropped back for pass after the fake handoff, but he is brought down. Jake Carter yet again with another backfield tackle for the Lions. So Bethany's got a 3rd and goal from the, looks like from now the 14-yard line. Bethany's going to want to take a timeout, think over of what they're going to try to do here.
It's a really good
6 more points.
Really good hold there, especially that really good individual effort from Jake Carter. There's 4:21 left here in the fourth quarter. 27-7 your score. Blanchard on top. We'll be back right after this 1-minute break. You are listening to Blanchard Lions football.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today. Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
Welcome back to Blanchard, America, where the Blanchard Lions currently hold a 27-7 lead over the Bethany Broncos. 4:21 left to go in the game. Blanchard defense, after giving a couple of big plays, have held firm, and it's currently 3rd and 14 for the Broncos.
So another quarterback scramble. Believe that's yet again Judson Gilland.
Tripped a little bit at the 5, it looks like, maybe 4.
So here's another chance for this Lions defense to prove that bend don't break philosophy that they've done. They had one goal line stand earlier tonight, potentially looking at a second one, as Bethany is going to look to punch it in from 5 yards out from the goal line on a 4th down. They're going to target the left side. Pass thrown up right away. I don't believe he had a foot inbounds. As Lions yet again get another big goal line stand to help keep the game out of reach for the Broncos. Turnover on downs for your Lions defense, but
really, really good stand there after giving up the initial gashes earlier in that drive. But truly, it's what we've come to expect from this Blanchard defense throughout the year. Just like you said, Carson, big don't break. They have an opportunity to shut the door on any sort of Bethany comeback with that play, and you just saw it right there. Backs against the wall in the red zone, they come up and produce.
And this is why we got a little break here. Just, again, thanks to all our sponsors for tonight's game. First United Bacon Mortgage, Yarbrough & Sons Heating and Air, Keeler Custom Homes, The Oasis, Quick Wrench, Brightway Insurance, Sutterfield Surveying, Coops Performance Gym, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Hometown Healthcare, Casa de Wolf Designs, LB Realty Group, Blanchard Eye Care, and 10 Arrows Roofing as another Tyler Hughes carry in the second half. Gets him about a 5 yards into down the field. So
I don't claim
second and 5.
I don't claim to be an expert or anything, but I think Blanchard might be just hanging on the run here for this final 30 minutes. I could be wrong though. Who knows? Maybe they'll pull something out of the half. They see a matchup they like.
Even then, I don't know if it's you want to take the risk of passing and having the clock stop unless it's one of your little bubble passes on the sides. If the field is just box is just absolutely that stuffed as.
And honestly, Carson, it's been one of those situations tonight where, even if you put Tyler Hughes in the backfield and, Bethany, if you gave Bethany the playbook and they knew that Blanchard was going to be running a run play, whether it be on the edge or down the middle, it's just one of those nights where I don't truly think it would have mattered in the end because of the push that Blanchard front has been able to get and the really, really good individual efforts that the running backs, whether it be Mikhail Howell, Vaughn McIntyre, or even Tyler Hughes that we're seeing right now. I just don't think it really matters what Bethany would have had in that script because Blanchard's just been able to do whatever they've wanted to him on that side.
So Tyler Hughes is going to take another handoff there. He's going to try to look to get another first down after the previous First United first down he brought to your Lions. Second and 6 with 2:15 left in the fourth quarter.
We're getting a little closer to the end of the game, obviously. Player of the game, we're not going to spoil it, but I do think even after the second half has progressed that there is a clear winner if you've been paying attention all game long. But we will reveal that to you after the time has concluded here, as well as give you hopefully some final scores from around 4A, ones that we've been keeping close eye on, and, of course, outside of 4A as well, brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage.
Tyler Hughes is going to get a big opening in the field. He's chased down the sideline, finally brought down around the 44-yard line, pushed out of bounds.
Got a flag back here
Bryson
at the
Miller for the Broncos, but
37. I think this one might be coming back.
I don't think Coach Craig is happy about that one either, kind of contending what was called out there in the hold.
Hey, you missed the holy call earlier.
So, Tyler Hughes' great run there is unfortunately reeled back in by some yellow on the field. So, minute and 40 with a trying to see, was it after the first down or the hold was calling?
Was that Ross maybe? Or maybe, I think that might have been Ryder Dobbs. It was someone on the left, I believe.
So new set of downs for the Lions. So I guess it gets us a first down, and then the penalty just brought it back to close to where we were. So
and now we're getting a timeout, or are we not sure of the spot? What are we talking about here?
I had some issues with when the play clock started or how much time should be left.
Uh-oh. I think someone might have gotten something wrong with the refs.
Well, let's take a quick look at some other scores while we wait. We go back to 4A here.
Quick shout out to, before you get to those, the LB Realty Group obviously was the game sponsor for tonight. And the LB Realty Group has been one of those, of the 2 years we've been doing this, they've been here since the beginning. So just a quick special shout out to them for not only sponsoring tonight's game, but being with us since day one. We truly appreciate your support. We couldn't do it without you.
Cooks is going to hand it off yet again. Tyler Hughes is going to run hard up the middle, right short of the first down. So about a 2nd and 1 coming up for the Lions with a minute 27 remaining. Looking ahead to next week, we'll be at Tecumseh for the final game of the regular season. All-time record against Tecumseh, according online, what I'm seeing looks to be 10-2. That's sort of accurate, not all the way.
I didn't even know we had that technology.
Accurate. Yeah, there's a great website that has a lot of Oklahoma schools, and they recently updated Blanchard's, went all the way back kind of to like 1940-something, 48 maybe.
And now we have a timeout from Blanchard, I believe. There's 55 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Blanchard still clinging to that not even clinging, still having a very solid lead, 27-7 against the Broncos. We will take a quick 1-minute timeout here. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Blanchard Lions Football.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a
Welcome back here. 55 seconds left to go in this Blanchard game versus Bethany. They currently have a 27-7 lead. That will probably be the second to last play of the game.
That'll probably be our last first down of the game
That's
from
right.
Tyler Hughes.
That's
Who's
right.
kind of been riding off of him for this last series. So play clock currently at 24 with 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Got to give props to Blanchard on both sides of the ball tonight. I know that they haven't scored any points in the second half, but they didn't really need to with the output that they put down in that first half. What are we doing here? What's going on? Let's roll the clock. What are we waiting on?
Let's see. The last couple of times we played Bethany, it's really been close. Let's see, 20 points for this game. The biggest separation probably came back my senior year most recently. It looks like 2017 we won 17-0. Every game since then has been right around that 4 touchdown to 17-point mark.
And it's funny because this win actually brings Blanchard's all-time record versus Bethany to a complete standstill. It's completely they're 9-9 right now after this win. So that will wrap it up for the game itself. But Carson, I turn to you. We dressed this up about as best as we could before the game. When you talk about the implications for District 4A2, Blanchard coming in here, especially in the first half, taking care of business early and just kind of riding on the coattails of their first half success. Tell me what led to this score. Tell me what led to just this dominant performance against the Bethany Broncos squad.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned, this is probably as far as I can remember in recent memory, other than maybe a Noble or one of those early non-conference games. This was kind of the first game where they got out of the gate really well.
Yeah,
maintained it. Didn't have any turnovers till that second half, right there on our right when we were about to punch it in, but. Always had kind of been this third quarter team, so it was interesting to see Blanchard get ahead, get out. That way you could kind of coast in the second half. Obviously had some things that maybe been coasting a little too much, and Bethany got a couple of explosive plays, but defensively saw some great goal line stands, so that was encouraging. Continuing to, hey, you might give up a big play, but we're going to rally up. We're going to make you go and earn that extra yard or two, and tonight's case, that didn't happen. Blanchard held true to it, and I think on offensively, it's good to see Brayson back out there. You saw that it opened a couple of things back up for your offense, and kind of, Watkins coming in, being somebody that could rely on and later in some deeper potential playoff games.
Yeah,
where some guys maybe need rest. I mean, you've got them going both ways, and you might be able to throw them out there for a couple of downs or a series and maybe somebody's cramping, maybe somebody's out of breath. So,
and with that being said, I think that's a perfect segue into our LB Realty Group player of the game, and I think without a shadow of a doubt, especially after the first half performance that Blanchard team put on, I think the only appropriate name to include in that LB Realty Group player of the game is Cole Watkins. Obviously, Cole Watkins coming in for the injured Reagan Palmer. It's almost been receiver by committee for the whole season when he's been out. But we've kind of seen Matt Tonsing in there a little bit. We've seen Cole Watkins. Cole came out tonight. We call his name sometimes on defense, sometimes on offense, but he came out tonight, and any pass that was thrown his way, whether it was in a catchable distance or not, he was able to get his paws on the ball, and not only was he able to make a whole lot of catches when it mattered, whether it be short or deep, but he was able to get extra yardage out of catches where it seemed like he was going to go down on the spot. And I think that was the real difference tonight, especially when you just talk about momentum and just coming out to a hot start, something that Blanchard has sometimes failed to do over the course of this season. It helps so much when you just talk about whole offensive flows.
Absolutely.
Cole Watkins was pretty much the catalyst for that tonight.
And it opens you up to maybe throw some different formations where you've got some matchups that you like, and maybe a team is really keyed in on somebody like Brayson or Reagan when he's healthy, or Corrick, and it might be. And that could have been what was happening tonight as far as with Cole. But he's, like you talked about too, I know earlier when he had that catch and then made a quick spin move back out to the sideline, got a really great gain off of that. Really kind of surprised me. It was a smart move and great field awareness by him to know, hey, they're overcommitting. They're on my inside. I got this ball here. Let me go the other way. And now I got a great gain.
So that was Cole Watkins as our LB Realty Group player of the game. Let's go real quick. It doesn't really matter a whole lot now if you're a Blanchard fan because, again, Blanchard controls their destiny still being undefeated in district. But just for the sake of seeing how else a couple of the big games in 4A stacked up, we're going to go to the full game, the post-game the post-game scoreboard update brought to you by First United Bank and Mortgage. Let's see how the teams in 4A stacked against each other tonight. Hopefully got some finals. Carson.
Yeah, so when we were talking about earlier, Newcastle and Tuttle, just kind of always fun to see rivals playing rivals, seeing what that score ended up. Final score 14-13, so I am curious to see if that was a case of a missed PAT or if Newcastle maybe just had two field goals, because they did kick field goals against us when we played them, so maybe they had seven
surprising.
points and got 2 field goals off of it. But Tuttle
too.
Ekes that one out. So Tuttle also beat Bethany when they previously played, so I got to imagine Tuttle is right behind us in district standings now.
Yeah.
I believe is Newcastle and Bethany maybe playing next week to finish out their regular season. So other 4A scores, Poda really separated from Ada in the fourth quarter. It is 40-7 in that game. Looking ahead for next week's opponent with Tecumseh, they currently trail Bridge Creek 27-21. Wagner won against Catoosa 54-23. Elk City got some separation on Woodward in the second half, and they now lead 43-14 in the fourth quarter. Hara and Classen. Hara looks like they're going to finish out that game with a win with a 29-6 lead in the fourth quarter. Cash ends up actually beating 4A ranked 7 Clinton 7-0. That game was at Cash. So the 4-4 Bulldogs, that's a pretty probably win, good feeling win for them, with Clinton's kind of been a blue chip in Oklahoma football.
Absolutely.
Weatherford finishes out with a win on John Marshall 42-16. And one, if you have any interest in perhaps checking out, Fort Gibson and Salazar is actually into OT 3 minutes ago, 42-42.
Nice. Thank you so
that
much
rounds out 4A.
for bringing us the 4A scores from across the state. Big shout out to First United Bank and Mortgage for being our both halftime and post-game scoreboard update. But tonight we can say a very demanding, I don't even know the word you would call it, a very sufficient win for the Lions tonight at 27-7. They get the victory over Bethany. Just want to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors: First United Bank and Mortgage, Yarborough and Sons Heating and Air, Keeler Custom Homes, The Oasis, Quick Wrench, Brightway Insurance, Sutterfield Surveying, Coops Performance Gym, Craig and Strait Orthodontics, Hometown Healthcare, Casa de Wolf Designs, LB Realty Group, Blanchard Eye Care, 10 Arrows Roofing for being the sponsors for us this year. And I'm happy to report that is a Blanchard win to remain unblemished in district. 27-7 to win against Bethany. They will play Tecumseh at Tecumseh next week to round out their regular season playoff schedule. Well, not playoff schedule, regular season schedule heading into the playoffs. But with that being said, my name is Drake Vidito alongside Carson Craig. Big shout out to Dave Merrick back in studio at the 104.5 Classic Rock Studios. Big shout out to the great Nate being our back end guy, and big shout out to Ashley Robertson for being the face of the behind the scenes. But for me, myself, Drake Vidito, Carson Craig, I say good night to you all, and it is a Blanchard win. Go Lions, 27-7. We will see you all next week. You have been watching Blanchard Lions TV.